Here we. Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. And our guest tonight is Kelly Boyle, who is, did I say it right?
Bowl.
Boyle, yep.
Yep.
And she is the director of the Northbridge Senior Center, which we're sitting in front of right now. And I don't know if a lot of people realize that this is really a great asset to the town.
Thank you.
No, you know, not every senior is able to handle a lot of things that you have to
No.
do as a senior. Now, some of us are, we're doing great health and we can do a lot of stuff on our own, but you offer a tremendous amount of services. That's what I wanted to get into.
Good. I'm
Yes.
glad you asked, Harry.
Yes.
Yes. In addition to being the main transportation for the town for our seniors and disabled, yes, we do offer a lot of services within the building, as well as day trips outside of the building. The exercise programs, health and wellness is very key for us. We still have card groups. We still have a billiard league. We have two beautiful pool tables up on our second floor. We have a shuffleboard table,
Wow.
which is very interesting, and that has a league. We still offer bingo, but we've pushed it to the next level, and we're offering a lot more for everybody's interests.
Now, this is the former plumber school.
Correct.
In fact, it was a school up until not that many years ago.
It was the late 80s when the town took over. Well, I guess the town always had it because it was a school.
Right.
But it then became vacant, and it was proposed that that would become the new home of the senior center, and it was Blackstone Valley Tech students that did
Helped do
the
most of-
renovation of that building.
And if you look at the building, it looks great.
It's a beautiful building. I love it. We have a lot of space, and sometimes, believe it or not, we run out of space. We have to be very, very creative and use every bit of open room that we have. So it's a great, great, great old building.
Are you finding some of the, it's kind of a strange way to put it this way, younger seniors coming in?
Absolutely. And what I'm
talking
finding,
the 60s and,
yes, the younger seniors, absolutely. And what I'm finding is those are the folks that are looking to be my volunteers. And they are fabulous. A lot of them have just left the working force. They're into retirement, and they're looking for something to fill their time, while a lot of them still have a lot of fabulous skills that I can benefit from. So yes, we're seeing that there's definitely a turn. There are still many that are well into their 70s and 80s. We do have maybe a handful that are more on the frailer side, but still independent and living in their own homes and able to come and see us every day.
I gotta tell you, retirement is not what everybody thinks it is.
No,
I hated it.
it's hard.
I tried it 3 times.
And you still haven't got it right, have you,
No,
Harry?
I keep going and get another job because I can't, you get bored.
You do.
And you really gotta stay busy.
Yes.
The secret is to find something you enjoy. Now, that's where volunteering at the senior center, people would be surprised how much they would enjoy.
And we have an array of opportunities, from helping out at the front desk, even answering my phones. That's a huge help for me. We have a medical driving program, so we have volunteers that use their own vehicles to bring seniors to appointments outside of Northbridge.
Yeah.
We have people that run some of my programs that are volunteers. And we also have the Meals on Wheels program. Now that's through Tri-Valley Elder Services,
Right.
which is a separate component, but still within our building.
But you need volunteer drivers to deliver the meals.
And in fact, we are in that particular program, Meals on Wheels, is in great need of drivers right now. So if there's anybody out there that has an hour or two a week that'd be willing to help us out, that would be fabulous.
I don't think a lot of people realize how important that program is. If you've got a person who's shut in,
Yeah.
can't get out for some reason, it might be due to arthritis or what have you, that's their only contact sometimes with the outside.
Exactly. While it is bringing them a nutritious meal, that's only about 20% of it.
Right.
The rest of it is having that face-to-face contact with another person.
Yes.
It's a wellness check.
Yep.
If the senior does not come to the door, that triggers a whole line of defense, I call it, of finding out if that senior's
Right.
okay. And many times, well, I have to say, at least 3 times since I've been in my position, we've had to call the ambulance for a senior on the floor. So it is a
Now,
good,
that's a good job for a stay-at-home mom whose kids are in the school during the day.
absolutely,
It gives you a chance to get out and do something.
yeah.
And I say it's voluntary, but do you compensate for the fuel or gas or anything?
Mileage.
Mileage. So you
Yes.
do get compensated for your mileage, and
Yeah.
gas prices are down now, but they'll be back up.
Of course they will. Yeah,
But the thing is, it's something, and it gives you a chance to intermingle with a lot of people in town.
definitely, definitely. I just on a personal note, when my children were younger, I worked part-time, but I still felt like I had some time to give, and I actually delivered Meals on Wheels in Northbridge for a bit, and then I ended up serving on the board, the Council on Aging, and here I am.
I was going to get into that, into your personal life here.
Sure, yeah.
How you got into this? I mean, you didn't go to school to become a director for an elderly center.
I did not. It all fell into my lap. I went to school, Worcester State College, which is now Worcester State University.
Right.
And my major was urban studies with a concentration in gerontology. I then went on to become a social worker
Right.
with older people.
Yeah.
So that's always been my
Oh,
focus.
so the elderly has always been a focus of yours.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. But working in a senior center, you're right. I had no idea what happened, what went on in senior centers. My eyes were just wide open when I visited the Northbridge Senior Center.
Every town has one. Every city
Every
and
s-
town.
Absolutely. There's probably 1 or 2 towns within the state of Mass that do not have an active senior center right now, but that's like I said, it's 1 or 2
Yeah.
communities that are real small and just don't have the funding for it.
Oh, okay. They might utilize one nearby.
They might be regional, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you get up into the Berkshires, some really small towns up there.
Exactly, right.
So you ended up now, Gail was the director before you.
Gail Anderson, yes.
Yes.
So, as I said, when my children were small, I was working part-time, and I had filled out the form that comes with our census in town.
Yeah.
Do you have an interest in serving on any of the following boards? Well, of course, I checked off Council on Aging because it had been my field of study.
Right.
So I was called to attend a meeting, a Council on Aging meeting, which is happening once a month. And the next thing I know, they asked me to be on their board. So I was serving on their board. And about 6 months into that, Gail Anderson announced that she would be retiring.
Right.
Well, it took about probably 3 phone calls from board members that said, we feel that based on your resume that you should apply for this position. So I did. And the rest, as they say, is
It's history.
history.
Yes. Well, that's another thing now you just pointed out. You don't have to be elderly to be on a council on aging.
Absolutely not. And in fact, I encourage younger folks
Yeah.
to
Well, it keeps communications.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because we tend to alienate ourselves within our own groups. Everyone, it's a human nature that
Absolutely.
people gather together with people with like thoughts.
Of course.
And,
In different stages of your life.
Yeah.
Right now, I'll find that, well, I'm rare because I mix with the school, with parents and school-age children, but then I'm on the other extreme with the seniors. But you're
Yes.
right. If you're going through your day-to-day life, you tend to just be with the people that are maybe your age group and
Right.
same interests. And but I would encourage anybody that is thinking about the Council on Aging or wants to learn more about it, just stop in.
Are there openings on a council on aging right now?
The board is actually full, but I'm always looking for associate members.
Right.
And it's good to have a pool of associates.
Right, because
so
then
that if
those are the
someone
ones that'll
steps
take
down,
the regular positions.
Exactly. And right now we have some associates that were longtime board members that didn't want to step down completely, but still wanted to be involved, but they just don't have a voting voice, I guess.
We're taking calls at 508-266-0990. You want to give us a call, and Kelly will answer your questions if you have any, especially if you're an elder and you haven't gone down to the senior center. And I'm guilty too, but
That's
I'm
okay,
so
Harry.
busy at the studio that I don't have time to, and I work part-time. I work merchandising for a company called Acosta.
Oh, nice.
And in fact, tomorrow I'm working Stop and Shop, putting spices away.
Wow.
I just
Good for
like,
you.
I like doing it.
Exactly.
I enjoy it, so it keeps me busy.
That's right.
But, yeah, the thing is that you can, and you're saying now, what's your age group in there? What do they range from, around 60 or, well, 55 isn't that the age that,
Actually, it's 60. So
60.
60 is the age that we consider as being a qualified senior in the town of Northbridge.
qualified for 7 years?
But again, it's a resource. I mean, we're there if you need us,
Yeah.
but if you don't need us, that's okay, but you know that we're there. It's,
Now, so you offer, if a person has a problem with Social Security,
yes,
and God knows dealing with the government can be a nightmare.
yes, it can be.
But you get down there, you'll go online with them, help
Yep.
them out,
Yep.
straighten out the situation. If you have a Medicare problem, I know right now October is the month
Open
you got to make your
enrollment.
decisions on what you're going to do for Medicare coverage.
That's right.
Well, if you're having a hard time deciding what's the best route to go, you could stop down and
We're absolutely your resource, yes.
Yeah.
And we do have some upcoming special meetings that will discuss Medicare changes. I know that we're having one presentation that's called Medicare Boot Camp. We do have some specific insurance companies that are coming in, Blue Cross Blue Shield,
Yeah.
Fallon, Tufts, and that is all posted in our newsletter. It hasn't gone out in mail yet, but it can be found on our Facebook page as we
okay.
speak.
yeah, and that's important because I know I get inundated because I'm on Medicare, and you get inundated with all these people saying, "Go with me, go with me." Well, how do you decide?
How do you know what's right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can talk to someone, you might get a better idea with your circumstances which way to go.
Exactly. And we also have a Shine counselor. During open enrollment, normally he's with us 1 day a week. During open enrollment, he's been kind enough to offer 2 days a week.
Oh.
So that is something that we also offer by appointment. It's a one-on-one session with a Shine counselor who is up to date on all of the changes that all of the insurances are making.
Now, in the other service now we get with government related is your taxes.
Yes.
Okay, come April 15th, and every year it happens, you gotta
It does.
get them filed.
Once a year.
Fortunately, I do mine on the computer with
Nice.
with the software, and it's no problem. But
Right.
not everybody can do that.
No.
And some seniors have a little more difficult, whether they realize it or not, it can be a little more difficult because you've got retirement programs. You might have 401s, you might have a regular retirement,
Right.
and then you have other interest, investments, and it can be quite confusing.
Absolutely can. So we have volunteers from AARP that come in and offer the free service
Yeah.
for tax
Yeah,
returns.
that's it. It doesn't cost you anything. You get this for free. I mean, come on.
You can't beat it. 20 Highland Street, Whitensville.
And the other thing is, it really interests me, I grew up in Rockdale,
Okay, yeah.
is your French club.
Mm-hmm.
Is what they call it, the French club?
Yes.
Yeah. And everybody speaks the old Canadian French.
You must to be in the class. You must speak
Well.
French.
I don't speak enough of it to even think about it. My father's Polish, my mother was French,
Okay.
so we didn't speak either one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Now my grandmother, my paternal grandmother didn't speak very much English,
Right.
So you had to communicate with her limited with, I was limited in Polish, and I can't even remember any of it anymore. But down in Rockdale, I mean, I remember it, people talking on the porches, everybody would sit outside at night and in the summer, and they're back and forth in French, but I could never. But then I had a good friend of mine who didn't speak English until he was in the second grade,
Oh,
because he went to
interesting.
St. Peter's.
Peters, yeah, yeah.
And their classes were in French.
Right, that's right, I remember hearing that.
Yeah. So, I grew up with a town that there was a lot of French being spoken, and
Yes.
it's too bad that we're losing it.
It is lost, but so it's nice to, the group isn't so active right now, but my program coordinator, who I believe you met
Yes,
just
Janine,
last week, she
speaks French.
she speaks French, and she'll often say to me, I just love her dearly, she'll say to me, if something doesn't come out right, even if it's in English, I'll kind of look at her and she says, I know, I'm thinking French and I'm speaking English, but nothing makes sense.
I know. That's what I could never understand. How can you think in different languages?
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my mother would go back and forth like nothing.
Oh, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, okay, the big thing and the reason we're here tonight, and I wish people would call on this, call and say, I'm going to drop off a check. They are in dire need of a new bus. And can we get a picture of the bus up on the screen, Troy? Okay, you're working on it.
Working on it.
You've got, how many senior buses have you got?
I have two right now.
Yeah.
One is 10 years old and the other is 7. And they're both have high mileage. They're showing wear and tear.
Yeah.
And we're putting more money into fixing problems, and it's beyond just the regular maintenance of a
Right.
vehicle that we're finding that it's not cost effective, and it's time to, oh, there we are.
Ah,
There
that's
it
the one that's
is.
parked out in
That's
back.
the 18 passenger. So that's the vehicle that I must have a driver who possesses a CDL license.
Oh, that's going to be a problem too.
That is a problem. So fortunately, my full-time bus driver does have his CDL, but he's the only one. So my
Right.
none of my sub-drivers are able to drive that vehicle. I can't even take it out on the road.
No, it's
But-
CDL, and it's a
so
problem
it-
for the CDL. To get them now, they made it a lot more restrictive.
It's difficult to maintain it.
Yes, yes.
And it's getting expensive, and so it limits us. So if we go down to a 14 passenger, it just makes sense for so many reasons.
Right. Now, do you fill that bus often?
We do, every
Really?
day.
Oh, 18.
All 18. If it's a day where the driver is going to have multiple trips, going multiple places, dropping off and pick up, then he might use the smaller vehicle.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, he does use the larger. That is considered our primary vehicle. And yes, we do just under 600 rides a month.
Wow.
It's amazing. People do not realize the volume that we do.
And there's no charge for the elders that use it.
Well, there is a charge.
Okay.
It is very economical.
Oh, all right.
If you're going shopping, if you're going to a medical appointment, it's $1 each way.
Oh, my God.
If you're coming to the senior center, though, this is the best. It's free. So if you're coming to visit us, no
God.
charge.
The last time, I think it was around 1965, I was going out with a girl from Worcester, and I'd take the bus
Yes.
through the valley. It was $1.20.
Wow.
That was a long time
And that
ago.
was it wasn't yesterday, Harry,
No.
right?
So, I mean, $1 for a ride is pretty darn reasonable.
We think so. We think
I don't know
so.
what the WRTA charges.
I'm not sure either. I know it's just over $1. I'm not sure.
But, I mean, as much of the service as that is, it doesn't meet a lot of the elder needs.
It's a wonderful service to have in our community.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not a door-to-door service.
Right, so they gotta get down to a place where they can pick it up.
Right.
It's on one of the main roads.
Exactly.
There's no particular bus stop, but you gotta get to like Providence Road or Church
Right.
Street.
Right. And that's difficult for many of
Yes.
our seniors that are on the frail side.
especially when you get into the winter months.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now, how do you work the bus? Do they have to call and make an appointment?
Yes, we asked to have at least 24 hours notice for a reservation. However, we know our people, and if an emergency comes up and they have to, say, get to CVS to pick up a prescription, we of course are going to accommodate that.
Right.
So for the most part, we ask for 24-hour notice.
Right. And then you pick them up at their door,
Yeah,
bring them to where they need to go,
that's right.
let them get back in and take them back home.
You got it. It's a
Now-
great service.
Yeah. And it's really, other than a taxi, you're not going to get that.
No.
And a taxi's going to cost you a lot more.
It would, and and I have to say, I often say that my bus driver is the social worker on wheels. He sees things that I wouldn't even know about if he wasn't at, their residence, or if he's with somebody, and he really knows these folks so well. He'll come to me and say, so-and-so is off today, something's not right, or, I went to the house and there's something going on. So we're actually, it's beyond just a ride.
Right.
It's really another safety net for these elders that, and the other thing is too, if someone doesn't come to the door, again, like the Meals
Right.
on
Now,
Wheels.
what do you do in a case like that? You call the police or?
I used to call the fire department
Uh-huh.
before we moved dispatch. So now I do call the police department. I ask for a wellness check.
Oh, okay.
But if I know the elder really well, I'll also call family members too, just
Ah.
to say, did so and so plan to do something and just forgot to tell us, or. And I've had a lot of families be grateful because that is, like I said, another safety net.
So that's something for the elders. Let them know who their family members are.
Yes.
Give them some give you some numbers.
Yes, we keep great records and
Yeah,
have
and
emergency contact information.
That way they don't have to have a police officer or a firefighter coming to the door.
No,
You can have a family member, because they might feel a little uneasy about it.
of course, yeah. And some might even get upset that we have
Right.
made that call, so,
Yes.
yeah.
But now, you're wheelchair accessible as well.
Yes,
So if someone is wheelchair bound,
yes,
you'll pick them up.
absolutely. Yep, both vehicles are equipped with a lift, and the new one that we hope to obtain will have a lift. And the
Yeah.
new one that I just want to make sure that it makes it clear that we will be getting rid of the 18 passenger. So we are replacing, we're not adding a third
Right.
to the fleet.
Right. Right, yeah. Especially, more vehicles you have, the more maintenance you have.
That's right, that's right.
Why
So-
keep unnecessary vehicles?
Right, right.
And, if you get this one here, you should get another 10 years out of it.
Definitely, yes.
Many years ago, it was like Phillips Supermarket used to supply. But those days are gone,
They are gone, yes,
and it was good that they supplied. Of course, the van always went to Phillips Market, but,
of course, of course.
but I mean, it was a good service.
Definitely,
And now you don't have that. That's why you've got to go to the town.
we do, we do.
And there is a article on a warrant, Tuesday night. It's for $50,000. But,
But I have good news.
yeah,
This was a particularly great week for the bus fundraising campaign, and substantial funding did come in this week. And I'm not at liberty to give specific numbers at this point, but you will see me up at Town Hall over the weekend with my red paint. I don't know if you noticed our thermometer that
yes,
we
it's
have
out in
there.
the town hall on.
I will have a lot of red paint because I'm going to be filling in a lot of the area there.
Yes.
So we're at a great number. I'm thrilled, and I will be confident that when we go to the annual Fall Town meeting, that the voters will be on our side for the amount that we will be
Now,
officially asking for.
Prior, where did donations come to you prior to the donation you got this week? 'Cause I
Where have
noticed
they
that-
been coming from?
Yeah, because I noticed that, the red was going up a little bit.
Yes, it had been going up a little bit, and it's been from local businesses that we reached out to
Uh-huh.
and individuals. So it's been It's been a mix of folks,
Right.
and it is my hope, and I'm hoping that everybody is okay with it, that I would like to list the name of donators in the Tribune so
Oh.
that people can be recognized
Yes.
for the support that they've given to us. I think
Yeah, that-
it's people like to see their names, and
Yeah, and if no one said no to it, some people like to be anonymous, and I
Right.
imagine they would tell you that ahead of time.
exactly, yeah.
But, this is good. Now, I know you do other fundraisers. I used to buy, Joe used to give me, Joe Montecalvo used to always send me tickets.
Oh, yes. So that's the Friends of Northbridge Elders.
Yes.
They are the fundraising arm for the senior center.
Right.
And they do what's called the 120 Club.
Yes.
So it's 20 weeks. Every week they do a drawing. Or the
Yeah.
ticket, I should back up. The ticket is $20.
Right.
And that's for 20 weeks, a weekly drawing at the end. So the weekly drawing is $20 amount, winning.
Right.
At the end is a
Right.
large.
We did the same thing. If
Okay.
you win one week, you've actually paid for your ticket.
Exactly.
But then at the end, you win the big amount.
Then there's the bigger pot.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And what they do at $20 a person, it comes out to, you get 50% goes to the fundraiser and 50% goes into the prizes.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a bad deal. I mean, Joe stopped selling the tickets, I guess, because
Yeah.
he had, he had that illness,
Exactly. Yeah.
but hopefully he's coming
he was-
back well.
Great supporter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, the thing is that, how much do you get on the annual budget from the town?
So we are. Of course, I'm gonna.
Yeah, well,
I'm $158,000.
but
So
that's
both.
got to cover salaries,
That's salaries
building.
and expenses.
Yeah, you gotta heat the building, we do live in
That
New England.
fortunately comes under the DPW budget.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. They pay all of my utility bills.
thank
which-
you, Jim Shearis.
That's right. And I do thank him every winter when I turn up the thermostat just a little. No. We do have gas heat, so I know that's more
Ah,
economical. than-
Yes, yes,
I mean,
much
at this
more.
point it is, yeah.
But there's other factors. I mean, you've got to maintain those vans. A
Yeah.
dollar per trip isn't making much money.
No, it's not, no.
And,
So we do have a line item for repair and maintenance, of course, a line item for gasoline,
Right.
and then, all the other internal expenses too.
Yeah, and then you do bring people in from time to time, and
We do, and for the most part, we like to try to get freebies, but
but you can't always do
you
that.
can't always do
No.
that. And so, if we do have to fund a program, we often apply for cultural grants, and we actually just put in for about 6 for this upcoming
Oh,
year, and so we hope to get at least, we usually get about 3 or 4 out of all the applications.
well, that's the way it usually works.
Yeah.
And if you do that well, you're doing real well.
Exactly. We're getting something, and
Yes.
that's all that matters. Yeah.
But you found it's a lot more than a 40-hour a week.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Actually, on the books, I'm 35 hours.
Yeah.
But I have to say that, it's definitely
Yeah,
over
people
40.
don't realize that.
No.
I've been involved in town government. People that work in town government work hard and work a lot of hours,
Yes,
especially if you're at a management position,
definitely.
because it's salary.
Yeah.
You got to be there till a job gets done.
You do. You do.
You got to go to the meetings.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
after-hours stuff.
yeah.
I even find that sometimes on the weekends I try to sneak in, and I always get caught, though. Someone's always saying, "What were you doing there on a Saturday? And why were you there this day?" And you can't get away with anything.
Right, but sometimes you need to do that.
But then they see your dedication and they know
Right.
you're committed to your job, and it's okay in the end. Yeah.
Now, do you do anything special for any seniors there, or in particular? Or?
We do a lot. We do a lot of special things.
Yeah.
In particular, I would say just bringing them in on a daily basis. Obviously, just having conversation. I
Yep.
know there are so many seniors. I know more
This is
about
like a
their
daycare.
lives than it almost is. It's like an informal adult day health program.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, these are seniors that are higher functioning and independent, and
But in a lot of cases, they don't have family nearby.
no,
I mean, years ago, and I'm going back when I was a young guy, sometimes the grandparents moved in with the parents.
Yeah.
Or they lived close by and it was one
Definitely.
big happy family. And everybody got a job locally.
Yes.
It doesn't happen that way today.
No.
And most of the time, the kids grow up and they end up moving across the country.
That's right. Yeah.
So you really have no one around. And so this gives them, these seniors, a chance to get someone around.
Yes.
Like family.
Definitely. Definitely. So we try to have special events. For instance, today was the monthly birthday party,
Yes.
where we offer the lunch.
For everybody who has a birthday in October.
Everybody that has an October birthday. Yep, they have a special invite, and they can have lunch with us and bring a guest, and they
October's
sing.
a big birthday month.
It is, but I have to say that I believe it was May that was one of our biggest so
Wow.
far. Yes, but what's also fun about these birthday celebrations is, in this year in particular, we have recognized so many residents within Northbridge that have turned 100, and it
Yes.
is such a thrill to have.
How-
Sometimes they're not
Do you
able
have a
to
number
join
right
us.
now on how many there are? Centurions?
I will get that for you because
I heard it was quite high.
It's pretty high. It
Yeah.
is. Our town manager often comments because we call him to let him know when another person is turning 100
Right.
because he likes to do the citation, and we also get it at the from the State House as well. But our town manager has always said we just have longevity in Northbridge.
Yeah.
So that would be a great number. I'm going to work on that tomorrow, Harry, and I'll let you know what that
Yeah,
number is.
I'll announce that, because
Yeah.
I heard it was really high and people are
It
amazed.
is.
In fact, we do better than a lot of towns around us.
I believe so. Yeah.
I know
There's something
Sut-
in the water. I don't know.
Do we have do we have any kind of, I know Sutton used to have, I think it was called a golden cane.
Yes, I have heard about that.
Yeah, they give it to the oldest resident.
Right.
Do we have anything like that?
I don't think so, but
Oh.
that's something we should look into.
Yeah, and it's not, if you're over 100, it's only one person gets it, and it's the oldest
It's
living
the
resident.
oldest, right. Okay.
And if they pass on, it goes down to the next one.
That would be great. I like that idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you ought to look into doing
I-
something
I
like that. That would
definitely
be-
will.
I mean, and if you can make it to 100 years, it's done pretty good. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I have to say, all of the people that have turned 100 and the ones that I've personally had the opportunity to spend some time with, cognitively, are
Yes.
still very intact. There's no memory loss. There,
I think
it's amazing to
that's
me.
crucial to making it there.
It's amazing. Yeah,
I mean, I remember Mr. Kukin,
I don't know who he
Oh,
was.
his son was a doctor.
Okay.
He was over 100, and he lived off of I think Forest Street, I think it is.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Summit Street. And my brother has rubbish business, and the truck broke down his driveway one day, and he said, "You guys got to move." He's over 100 years old, right?
Right.
Still driving. He says, "You got to get out of my way. I've got a date."
There's an incentive right there.
Yeah. But he's no longer with us. But he made it well over 100.
That's great.
And yeah, it's amazing how many people in Northbridge are doing that. And like you say,
Yes.
that they still have all their senses. Margot's mother.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but people don't realize, I'm a big history guy.
Mhm.
These people have so much
So much to
offered
share.
to talk about, what things were like.
Yes.
I tried to relate a lot of things to my granddaughter
Mhm.
that what I knew of Northbridge in the past, because, someday I'll be gone.
Right.
And I think you need to, somebody has to do that. They got some great Facebook page that reminisce, Blackstone Valley Reminisce.
Yes.
And some great articles in
And the
there.
pictures.
And the pictures, yeah.
Yes.
And it's good to get back to seeing what this town was really like. But you're talking to your people now, a lot of the people you have at the senior center are former White Machine Works employees.
Oh, they most certainly are. Mhm.
And they're proud of the fact that they work there
Definitely.
and love talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
With,
And miss it. And miss
and
it
miss
so
it, yeah.
much. Yeah. And miss it for the community.
yeah, because it was more than a job. It was
It was,
a
yeah.
community atmosphere about it.
Yeah.
You went to work and you socialized.
That's it. Yeah.
And a lot of them never left town.
No, no, it's all they knew, and
Yeah.
it was their home away from home. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm surprised when I get any calls
Oh,
here.
I know.
508-266-0990. Look at the lines. Don't wait till the last minute. I don't know if you know Georgette.
Yes, and she was at the center today.
Yeah, well, she used to call my other show, and she'd always call at 10 minutes of. I said, Georgette, you could have called earlier.
Yeah. Yes. Georgette, if
Is it-
you're out there, please give us a call.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's a fixture in town. She's a fixture at Walmart.
And she's now become a fixture at the senior center.
Oh, that's good.
She had come in to start volunteering last year,
Ah.
and she still does a little volunteering and will come in and visit, and we just love seeing her.
I wish I had a little more time. I really don't have a lot of time in my hands.
I know, I know.
I wake up in the morning, the first thing I know is, God, the day's gone by.
Exactly,
It's where to go.
exactly. I know.
But you got. But you know, if you stay busy, you stay
That's-
healthy.
It's the key. It is.
Yeah.
It certainly
It-
is.
it's like
healthy not only physically, but
Yeah,
all
physically
your
and mentally.
Mentally too. Yeah.
You know, it's like a constant exercise. You
Yes.
have to. I try to exercise because it's more important when you get older
Definitely.
because you tend to not to be as active, and it's so easy to just sit in a chair.
Oh, it certainly is.
But I have to have things that keep me going, and that's what helps you keep going, and with objective to meet every day.
Yes.
And that's why I think volunteering is a great thing. I wish I had the time to go down here. I ought to stop in sometime. We ought to come in sometime with our camera crew and take tape some of your activities down there.
Which would be wonderful. Again, I think I had mentioned to you one of my mentors who oversees really all the councils on aging in Massachusetts. When I first started, he had said to me, your best resource is cable TV, and I've always shied away. But here I am tonight,
Yeah.
and I think it's wonderful. And you have a beautiful studio, and I don't think, especially my seniors, have no idea what you've transformed this building into. So I think we should come visit you.
You got to bring them in.
Yes.
They will be amazed.
They will be.
because a lot of them knew the American Legion.
Yes.
Knew this place when it was an open pavilion.
Oh.
This was a wide open pavilion.
Wow.
And I remember as a youngster, very young, and the Legion took it over
Yes.
from the Paul Whiten Manufacturing,
Mhm.
and they boarded up the sides and made it into a hall, but then added on over the years and
Okay.
get to the size we are now.
Wow.
But anybody who's been here, and we had a number of people had weddings here, parties after funerals,
Sure.
showers. That would
Mhm.
you don't hear about that anymore, but
Right.
prior to weddings, they had to have showers to try and get some money up
Exactly.
to pay for the wedding.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway, they'd be amazed to come in here and see what this looks like
They
now.
would be.
Because they would not recognize it in
No.
any way, shape, or form.
No, and it's absolutely beautiful. So
But I would like to see, too, if you could get some of the elders together, you ought to do a TV show,
we ought to. That would be a great idea.
Elder Affairs,
Yes. Yes.
and just discuss about the problems in Northbridge or what, and just get on here, let people call in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Or
that
you
be
could
good?
even reminisce too.
Or reminisce,
Yes.
and I would be glad to help them host it to get it going.
That would be fun.
And we could,
All
do,
right.
you can do it during the day so that
Yes.
they don't have to be out at night, because a lot of people don't like to drive at night.
No,
When you get older, it gets a little tougher.
exactly.
But, yeah,
But with a new van that's a 14 passenger
you could bring them down.
that I could drive, I could bring them down.
Yeah, that would be good. We could,
That would be fun.
yeah. And they have a lot of concern. They're concerned just as much as the younger people about the taxes and
Of
about
course.
what's being happening in town.
Yes. Yep.
And, the elders get a lot of bad
Rap.
rap over the school. They
Yeah.
don't want to support. Well, don't say that. They want to. They just want to make sure that it's being done properly.
That's right. That's right.
They're not any more against the schools than they're not against the
No.
schools.
No, and I think it's just bringing more of an understanding. Sometimes they're just not even aware of, what the real issues are. And so I
Right.
think if there's more conversation, then, I think bringing the seniors and the younger people of our community together is.
Do you have any programs where you get the seniors mixed with the high school kids?
We actually, we do. And over the summer, we had several students that came in to help us volunteer. I still have a few that come in during the school year to help out.
Yeah,
One of the cultural grants that I had applied for, and I've done this in the past, is an intergenerational program. So if the Council on Aging gets the grant, we bring it to one of the elementary schools in town, which is also a nice connection.
yeah,
But we're hoping to bridge that gap a little bit more and do a little bit more. Like I know we've thrown out the idea of doing like a pen pal type program.
oh, yes, yes.
So we've got a lot of things that we'd like to.
You know, a lot of young
Sorta get
people
going.
find the elderly very interesting because they have so much that they know and they like to reminisce.
Yes.
But the thing is that you got to get them together, and it's amazing how well they mix when they do. And right now, we're going into a real, baby boomers are the elderly,
They are.
and that's a large, large amount of people,
It's a
and
huge
people are
amount.
living longer and healthier now.
Yes.
So there'll be a lot more of them around, and we have a phone
Well,
call.
we do have a call.
Okay. Go ahead, caller, you're on. Turn your phone down. TV down. Turn your TV down. You have to turn your volume down on your TV. See, it's hearing me. You're hearing me. Hello?
I'm right here.
Okay. You turn your TV volume down because you're getting a feedback.
Got it.
There you go. Okay. Now we're all set.
We're all set now.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your question?
I just wanted to say hello to Kelly, and she's looking good on TV.
She's doing a great job,
Thank
right?
you.
I think she's doing a great job.
Doing a great job. Her debut on
I'm
TV.
I'm a new volunteer. This is Sharon Kelly.
Oh, hi,
And,
Sharon.
I enjoy working very much at the center, and they're wonderful people. I think I'm getting more out of it than anything.
So you really enjoy working there?
Yes, very much.
And
and,
she's doing a wonderful job.
I don't want to. I'm not. I never asked the lady her age. But you have young children, or?
No, I'm 70 years old.
Oh.
You sound young, Sharon.
Yes, you do.
You're young 70.
Oh. So you went down there as a senior?
No, I just wanted to volunteer. I
Oh.
wanted to do something with my time,
Yeah.
and I am just getting. I enjoy it so much. I'm just getting more out of it than anything. And
Tell
I
me,
enjoy talking with Kelly and the staff. They're beautiful people.
let me ask you something. I'm 3 years behind you. Do you really feel like you're 70?
No,
No, I know. When I think about 60, I remember my grandfather was in his 60s. He looked like he was in his. I don't feel like I look like
No,
I'm in my 60s.
You don't.
And I don't feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm still 40 years old.
Exactly. And
Except
that's what
when I
keeps
try
it-
to walk sometimes.
yeah, physically, where we have difficulties sometimes with arthritis, but mentally we're still young, which is very
Yeah.
good.
And I think that's what keeps you going.
It does.
Absolutely, it's very important to keep going.
Yeah. Age is a state of mind.
Yes, it is. And I'm not ready to get old.
Exactly. I'm with you 100%. All right. Hey, so
It was nice talking with you.
okay. Thanks for
Thanks.
calling.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Sharon. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
but
I'll see you tomorrow, actually.
I think. Well, how many? You've been in it for what? 3 or 4 years now?
It was just 3 years in June.
3 years. Boy, time flies, doesn't
It
it?
does. Yeah.
I remember when you were appointed. It doesn't seem that long ago.
It
but-
doesn't. No, it has gone by very quickly, but it's all been good, great
Yeah.
3 years.
My point is though that it just doesn't. Time flies by, but it doesn't seem like it. So you don't feel that old. And the elderly today don't act like the
No.
elderly of
It's very different.
10, 20 years ago.
Yes, yeah. And that's again why my programs and activities need to go along
Right.
with where these seniors are at. Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. You're on. You'll have to turn your TV down. You're going to get an echo. Hello.
Is that for me?
No, yeah.
Okay, I'm not even in the room with the TV.
Okay, now you're all set. We heard something a
Hi,
minute ago.
this is Stephanie. I'm another volunteer down there at the center. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks
I
for
just
calling.
wanted to make mention of the fact that the senior center isn't just for the seniors, if that makes sense. I'm a little bit younger volunteer in the center, and I get so much out of it. And I think in terms of bridging with the community, like you were just discussing with the schools and places like that, being someone who isn't in the population, I can learn so much about how the town was, and I can bring my ideas, and I learned from the other people. And even this summer, we took the van, we took some of the seniors to the concerts at Alternatives,
Oh, that was fun.
and that was a really
Oh.
good way to tie in with the community.
Definitely.
So I think that's something that Kelly does really well with the senior center is connect us all, because Northbridge is just one wonderful town.
Yeah,
You know me, Steph. I'm always willing to try something new, and
Yeah, so I'm
but-
just encouraging everyone else who's out there that might want to come and volunteer and be a part of the senior center, that they don't have to necessarily be a senior or know a senior in town. They can just, because they want to help, and just be a part of this larger community.
Well, that's why I wanted Kelly on, because it gets information out. We don't realize a lot of good stuff we have in this town that we take for granted. We don't even
do.
think about it.
no.
Absolutely. It's interesting because I lived in town for 14 years before I started volunteering at the senior center. And now actually I live out of town. I live in Uxbridge, but I feel more connected to the Northbridge
So you
community
come back to the
because
Northbridge
of
Senior
the time
Center.
I spend
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
So
Wow.
it's just a wonderful resource. It's a wonderful place to
So
be.
when you
I'd
started,
like to encourage, I know you were talking about Meals on Wheels and the other things that you did, Kelly, when your kids were in school, and I want to, as a homeschooling mom with grown children now, I want to just encourage anyone who's homeschooling out there that perhaps they can do the Meals on Wheels. We had friends who did that.
Oh,
So again,
right.
it's just another way to tie your children and the younger people into our seniors within the town.
Definitely. Good point.
right.
So thank you.
Let me just ask you, when you started, you have young children at the time?
Not when I started here. We had always been community active when they were younger. But it's actually my mom is a senior here in town, and she is the one who was volunteering, and she kept saying, "Come on, you need to volunteer. You need to volunteer. You'll love it down there." And, you know, mothers. So
Yeah.
I said, yeah. And then about 2 months into it, I did. I stopped down and I talked with Kelly, and I saw how much they needed the extra personnel just for the little things. Because, again, in her budget, there's not as many people there, paid people to do the work that there is, because there's so much extra to do.
Right.
So as a volunteer, it was wonderful for me to be able to give back. And it's a way for me to contribute, or anyone else who can contribute. I don't have money to give, but I have time.
Ah, yes,
And that's huge.
right. That's a lot of times more valuable than the cash.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I feel that way because I'm giving of myself and I'm getting so much. So there are days that I'm only scheduled twice a week, but I will come in extra. Kelly knows this because I miss the people there. I miss the clients. I miss the staff. It's just such a nice, friendly place to be, and I get so rewarded.
Ah,
But selfishly, I come down just because it's good. It's
And
just a
just to
wonderful
check on
place.
us.
So everyone in town should come and get involved.
yeah, especially if you're a people person, this is definitely the place to be.
Even if you're not, we've had so many people that have come in. Some seniors that kind of were in their shell, and now
Introverted and,
we can't stop them.
yeah.
So it's good all around.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Steph. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. You see, we always get the calls at the end, and that's usually what happens,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I managed to keep going.
Yes, you do.
I was going to say that maybe I ought to go down there and start volunteering to play records or something.
Yes.
You know,
I like that idea too.
you ever see, you see a commercial, it's on TV, I forget what it's for, but it's for medication. And it starts out when rock and roll was young, and you got these
Yes.
people that are, I love that commercial.
It's perfect.
Yeah, because that's the way I feel.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I do my show on 50s and 60s music, and I talk the background behind the songs, because
Which is wonderful because that's, again, the people that are at the senior center can appreciate.
Well, they
that so
relate to that
much.
music,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
and that's why I, because to me that, well, of course it's my generation, but I think that was the greatest music ever. But every generation feels that their music
About
was,
their own,
yeah.
right, yeah. But for
But-
someone like me, then I can learn from you,
Yeah.
so.
But then
it's
again,
good.
I find a lot of young people like 50s and 60s music.
Yes, yes,
Because it's a great beat to it, and
that's right,
you know, and a lot of it really relates to teenage love.
yeah, you're
Which-
right,
yeah.
yeah,
That's what all those songs were about for the most part. And, you know,
Exactly.
it's so nice to go back to those days and
It
think about
is.
how wonderful.
it
You don't
definitely is.
realize how great those years were when you were there.
Right, at the time.
Yeah.
And then you look back and,
And
yeah,
time goes by so fast.
too quickly.
When I see, you know, here I am, a grandfather, and my granddaughter just turned 13. I says,
How did that happen?
yeah, 13 years went by. God.
Wow.
And my own boys, I mean, they're, you know, one's in his 40s, the other one's almost there, and
Mm-hmm,
middle-aged.
right,
Yes.
yeah,
And it seems like, and I think about it, but memories are funny things, because memories are just yesterday.
right,
And it's just strange how that is, and it seems like it wasn't that long ago, even though it was.
even though, yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're coming up on class of '66. It'll be 50 years reunion
Wow,
next year.
nice.
50 years.
Wasn't that just last week?
Yeah, I know. It just amazes me.
Yeah,
And I've seen the town change tremendously over
I
that
bet you
time.
have, yeah,
But now, before we're gonna have to wrap up, we're gonna have about a couple.
Okay.
We have to go. We go out 5 minutes before the hour.
okay,
Oh, okay. Oh, we can go to 59.
oh, okay.
Okay. The other show we got to do 5 minutes early because my co-host likes to put on his music at the end of the show.
Oh,
and
right, okay,
He has to fit it in.
okay.
We
I
don't
won't do
do-
anything fancy at the end, Harry.
No.
Okay.
We are gonna have you come back. I'd like to, you know, bring the bus up.
Yep.
Get to sit. We just sit and talk.
Exactly.
They did a show. Sharon Ampagumian did a show a while back, number of years ago. In fact, at two studios back. We were on Church Street,
Oh, okay.
and she did it with Civil War, with World War II veterans,
Oh,
and it was
nice.
so interesting
Oh, it must have
to
been.
hear them talk about their memories of the war.
Sure.
And those are things that we're going to lose. I mean, we're losing World War II vets on a constant, regular
Yeah.
basis now. Dropping left.
Right.
Now we're starting to lose the Vietnam veterans.
Yes.
And the thing is that those memories are going to be gone with them.
Yeah, right.
So I'd like to get, you know, and just,
Mhm.
I'd like to get, and then Don Gosling, I think,
Yes.
yeah, loves to talk to shop.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
And he wrote, was
Yeah.
it one or two books?
Yeah, I know of one.
One, at least one. Yeah.
And,
so he's a wealth of knowledge right
Yeah.
there.
He got on there with a couple of old shop employees.
Okay.
Well, Ken Girton.
Ken Girton. Yeah, he's a
And-
permanent fixture at
Yeah.
the senior center.
Ken's a great guy.
He is.
And they talked to shop, and a lot of people like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so interesting because it brings back memories.
And actually, that would be wonderful, Harry, because I'm always looking to do something special for the men.
Yeah.
I mean, we always do. Things seem to tend to be more for the women.
Yeah.
But if we could do something for the men, to have them just sit around and chat like that.
Yeah.
And bring back all those wonderful times, good and bad times, I guess.
Right, but a lot of kids
yeah.
would be interested in hearing what was
Yes.
like, you know, they're talking about the fact that, well, they didn't have traffic lights at Memorial Square. And the
That must
police
have
would
been
have to come out at lunchtime because everybody would go home to have their lunch from the shop
Oh, okay.
because they didn't have to drive far.
Right. Isn't that
See,
interesting?
and they'd come back.
Wow.
And then the shop also, back up until the 50s, paid in cash.
Oh.
So the money would come to the bank,
Uh-huh.
which is now Austin and Gas,
Yes.
but that was the bank building.
Okay.
And there were two banks in there. There was the Winesville Savings Bank and the Blackstone Valley Bank, which eventually became Unibank.
All right. Yeah.
But their money would come in there, and then we all could have the cash, and they would have the payroll master go up there and get the cash, and the police would have to guard to make sure there was no robbery, bring it down to the paymaster down at the shop.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go into the White Machine Works, the windows are still there with the bars and all,
Oh
where they used
my,
to hand out the cash.
isn't that something?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, so, I mean, it's a lot of great history in the town that we could bring up, and,
Excuse
I-
me.
I know my crew would like to do that too.
Definitely. Yes.
We wanna do more programming, this is,
Definitely.
that's another thing,
There's-
to tell people, it is a great asset, we have 3 channels in this town that are great asset. You know, you get the selectmen's meetings,
Yes.
broadcast live. I would love to
Excuse
get
me.
some of the seniors, if they'd be interested in volunteering for us. We get people always say, well, we'd like to have more meetings covered. But you can't, we don't have the people to do it. But, yeah, we're almost off. Could you get some water, Troy? It's dry in here, you know, it's very dry in here. There you go. Okay, Kelly, this is live TV, and you know, you can't edit live. But, oh, just bring it on with you. Yeah, bring it on with you, what the heck, I mean, come on.
Excuse me. Oh,
Yeah, it's very
it was
dry in
just one
here.
of those tickles that.
Yep, that happened. Thank God it didn't happen to me. I mean, I've had things happen, embarrassing moments in live TV, but that isn't one. But yeah,
I'm gonna switch waters.
there you go. We would love to, you know, put a TV show on with them. Even we could teach them how to, you know, go out and tape. We're looking for volunteers too to do like the football games, baseball games.
I knew that you were always looking for volunteers, so I'm wondering if that's something we can
You know,
certainly
I've
tap
always had an
into.
interest. I wanted to go into broadcasting, and did go to school for it, but you know, you had to. I ended up getting married and had, you know, family coming along, and I had to make a living. And not everybody makes a lot of money in broadcasting. In fact,
No, unfortunately.
it's like acting. There's more unemployed actors than employed actors.
Exactly.
So I went into sales, and I did all right and have good retirement and everything. But this gave me a chance to get into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To pursue something that you've always wanted to do.
Yeah. And it doesn't cost anything, and we supply it all. So it's
And
really-
again, it's a beautiful facility.
yeah,
People just need to come down and just take a tour.
it's like your place. You know,
Same thing.
A lot of great things here. You know, if you like playing pool, you got 2 great pool tables.
Beautiful pool tables. Yeah.
Pool league.
A pool league every Wednesday morning. Shuffleboard league every Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Cribbage league every Thursday
Yeah, now
afternoon.
that's a dying thing now. I mean, not too many people play cribbage anymore.
We probably have 5 tables, so
Yeah.
about 20 people.
You know, I mean, up the Legion here, that was a regular thing, right? Oh, God, every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But, you know, now nobody comes here. The Legion still has a meeting room, and they use it once a month.
Okay.
Our pool players, well, one of them, Willie Belanger, passed away.
Mhm.
And Camille Lebrecq is not
Yep.
up to par anymore.
Although he was in today to play cribbage.
Oh, but
So,
he's
Not
starting to
as,
fail. Okay, we're getting a notice now. Now we gotta go, right, Trey? Okay, we gotta wrap it up.
okay. Well,
It's
thank
great
you.
having you on, Kelly.
you.
And
My pleasure.
I'm gonna stop in. We're gonna stop in and,
All right. We're going to be
But-
good friends, Harry.
yes. Can you get them down here sometime?
I definitely will. We're going to make a date.
Yeah, you work it out. Okay,
Okay.
well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for calling in. And hey, look, get down there. And don't forget, Tuesday night, town meeting, we've got to vote to support this article for the senior van. It says 50,000, but Kelly says we've already got part of it. All right, so come on down and vote yes.
Appreciate all the support. Thank
All right.
you.
Good night.